don't understand why other people aren't outraged and speaking out like me. I mean, I don't talk to anybody the way I do on camera because this is where I can let loose. I'm still trying to be a nice guy and not use expletives and all this kind of crap, but it's tough because if you're not ticked off, then you're more culpable. Be ticked off. Show, God and man, that you're outraged and you want an end to the evil idiocy that's manipulating my reality up one side, down the other, and to the nth degree. That should bother you a lot, and you should know what to do. You should be empowered out of confusion, out of stupidity, out of ignorance. Have some biblical knowledge. What's it going to hurt you to learn the wisdom of Solomon and the vastly wiser wisdom of Jesus Christ? How's that going to hurt you? Does that make you religious? That's stupid. Of course there's a God. It's the stupidest thing in the world to believe everything has happened. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Beyond bizarre. So yes, there's great reason and logic to believe we are created beings and we have a duty and obligation to our fellow human beings and by extension to our parents. Who are our parents? None less than God Almighty. And understanding what His will for us is. The best. It's what makes sense. You can never imagine God being any less than the very best set of parents that ever existed. As good as your little imagination can conjure up. And vastly better than that. That's the God I know. That's the God I'm pointing you to. That's the one that gives me the power to speak out about these things. I'm as scared. I'm as human as the next guy. I'm scared to die. Myself, yeah, I hate that idea. I hate the people that love me. I hate my kids having to go through that grief. I hate it. And thank God knows it. God knows how I hate it. I hate death. And second, I hate money. I hate those that push this crap. And I can't wait till God's will is established on earth and there's no form of money. There's nobody there that wants to take advantage of you, that wants an advantage over you. It's that simple. It's that cut and dry. There's only two lines we can get in now. One is the money lovers line that support this worldly direction we're going, which is the highway to hell. Okay, and those that get it and say, I want God's will to be done, and I want to know what God's will is. You can do that. It's all just logical. It doesn't take intellectual prowess. A little child can understand, like Christ explained. A little kid can have a pure heart, innocent. How would you have it? Let's put yourself in God Almighty's shoes. You love all your children equally. This planet belongs to you. Would you distribute it unevenly, thus outraging, incensing, causing animosity among your children, of course that's the net result. If you play favorites and give some kids advantage and by necessity, by default position, it disadvantages the other one, no. It's God's planet. We're all His equally beloved children. We should be handed our shares. I mean, if this whole money thing was for real, then hand us our shares in the earth's resources at birth. Remember, we're all just passing through. There's no such thing as ownership. Anybody who believes there is delusional. Yet that's the vast majority of people. They believe they can own crap. It's all usership. God owns everything anyhow. But we're passing through. We might be dead today. So much for all your possessions and all your money, huh? So, friends, listen, I hope that's a good explanation for my frustration, my perturbation, and you understand, we have a duty to others, even if things are perfect in your life, which, of course, nobody's life is perfect. You got to do it for others, okay? Because we don't have any idea of how happy we could be once we start caring for the least of men, okay? I know it. I absolutely am certain it's God's will that we care about each other, the least of men, like Jesus called Himself. And if we don't do this, we won't find happiness. I just want to be happy. I want us to stop engaging in forms of escapism. And you know what I mean. We all find ways to run from crap and get into this and that. Anybody, even habits that are considered healthy, we've got an addictive nature, okay? And it's just we need control over these things, and so many people get involved in really bad vices and all kinds of problems, and it all stems back to being very unhappy with our reality and knowing that we are connected, interconnected, inextricably so to one another, and there's nothing we can do about that to change it. And we need to care about others if we care about ourselves. So even if you're just selfish, then there's all these altruistic, unselfish, selfless motives we have to care about each other. Don't ask questions. They're weaker. You don't know their life story, their upbringing. You don't know nothing. Care about them. They may be better men and women than you that are sleeping outside in the cold and sometimes dying out there, neglected worse than animals. Okay, just care for them. Jesus said, that's me. And if we don't care for Jesus, we're not a Christian nation. We're not going to please God, and we will not find true happiness, and we will still be seeking ways to escape our miserable, manipulated unreality, because that's what it is. It's created, invented by evil men to vex the souls of the righteous men. Okay, just to steal, kill, and destroy. These are the slaver class, these elitists that love the advantage over others. They love their lives in this world. So if you want to be in that line, then you think it all makes perfect sense. Okay, that's a line you got to be in, but I don't recommend it. I recommend you get in the line of the righteous who say, may God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And yes, for certain, one thing there won't be there in that perfect world is any form of money or anybody that loves it, that wants it there, that wants an advantage over anyone else. They won't be there. That's going to be absent in a perfect world. I want to get on to some current events and other talking points now. It's really okay to simply be a nice human being. It really is. But the term nice, at one time, I remember my college professor taught me that at one time, nice, if you know the etymology, used to mean stupid. So somehow people have like an instinctive resistance to just being a nice human being because of that, probably. But no, it's good to be a nice, respectful human being. I recently called carpool lanes evil. I was going south, traveling on I-5 through LA, southern part. This a couple weeks back, and some truck lost its load of drywall out on the freeway. The highway patrol had all like 5-6 lanes, and then 2 more carpool lanes. He had the carpool lanes were open, but all the other lanes were dead stopped. And these people were whizzing by 70, 80, 90 miles an hour in that carpool lane. Well, I'm over here, all this stopped traffic. Okay, that's evil. That's wrong. They should have done something about that right away. To say, no, we're opening up the carpool lane to everybody now at this time. Okay, but they didn't do that. Because people are afraid they want to abide by the law and not driving it. Get rid of those damn carpool lanes. And start stacking the freeways in those busy sections. For God's sake, don't make people waste their lives in traffic. Can you understand my confusion over this? And they keep saying, oh, we need to create jobs. Oh, job creation, it's all good. Oh, we can't fill the job we have. I mean, am I wrong to be confused? Are you confused? This is with mainstream media, propaganda, confusion, discombobulation. I was talking about these news reporters' lilting voice. You got to understand, it's that voice that tapers off and fizzles out. Like they're trying to put you to sleep. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I wish they had to listen to themselves. But some of these people, they love themselves. They're in love with their voices. I resist this idea of being anybody's role model, but in fact, we all have to step up to the plate to some degree. We all see our own failures. I'm nobody's role model, but the people I look up to are pretty basically just simple, regular people going to work with family values and just want to be nice people and live their stinking little lives, okay, and get along and find a degree of happiness in this crazy world. Those are my role models, just nice human beings, fighting the good fight for God and man, for the betterment of our species, for a semblance of progress in their life, to leave this world a little better for their brief visit. Okay, and we can all do that. We all have to accept some responsibility to do that. All right, I'm going to end the tape shortly, but I wanted to get into a couple of thoughts maybe before I go. When it comes to the vital subject of forgiveness, we ought to understand that it is easiest to forgive others. Invariably, we are least capable of forgiving ourselves. While we are often willing to offer others slack, we rarely extend such grace to ourselves. But of course we should. If the world was essentially handed to you on a silver platter, how good would you feel to be lazy, to be useless, not to be appreciated for your contribution to humanity by using your God-given talents? Not very. That would be very unfulfilling. Well, friends, I got to leave it there. Best everybody. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful eternity. And hopefully I'll get a chance to talk again. And